I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Washtenaw Community College seems to always be hosting events to tackle a myriad of interests, and the Rotary Club recently took advantage of their hospitality. Take a look. During the 4th annual Michigan International Festival, you could be a world traveler right in the comfort of our county, all thanks to the Rotary Club.
We want to provide an international experience. You walk in the door, you see a few flags, you get a feel of the world. You go in and you sit down for an hour and a half and you see performances from Korean dance to young Chinese musicians. We have a karate demonstration. So, we try to just provide a cultural experience. And then our silent auction.
There are various items out here, from a cruise on Lake Erie on a 38-foot sailboat to 3-night stay at an Airbnb in San Juan, Puerto Rico. A lot of the money we're going to collect today is going to go toward Polio Plus. And what Polio Plus is it's a challenge that Rotary put out in 1985 to cure polio around the world. Right now there's only 3 countries left that have polio. And so far in 2017, there's only been 3 cases reported in the world, which is exciting. We're almost done.
So it's a win-win for everybody. We all get to come together, have a great time, and then at the end of the night, we have money that we can use to support people who are less fortunate.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. For decades, one organization is bringing strength in numbers on the campus of the University of Michigan to make the streets safe day and night. Every spring, Take Back the Night supporters make their voices heard through protests against sexual violence.
We are at the 39th annual Ann Arbor Take Back the Night rally and march, which is a march to kind of empower survivors of sexual assault and give them a voice and kind of just show the community that this is a prevalent issue on our campus.
Sexual assault on college campuses in particular is what's been referred to as an epidemic. 1 in 5 undergrad women will be assaulted during their time at college, and 1 in 3 women will be in an abusive relationship at some point in their lives.
Everything that we have read and heard, experienced over the years that we've been doing this, I would say this is one of the worst epidemics that we have as a community, as a nation.
The rally welcomed people of all walks of life to spread the message of empowerment.
We will have State Senator Rebecca Warren giving an opening address. We will be having some dance groups perform. We have 2 slam poets who will be reciting poems about sexual assault. We will also have a men's pledge, as well as just giving some statistics and facts about the issue of sexual assault.
If you want to break silence, you need to be in a comfortable space to talk about it, so victims can go from being victims to survivors and to become thriving survivors.
For more on giving a voice to sexual assault survivors, visit tbtnannarbor.org. April is National Volunteer Month, and around Ann Arbor there are plenty of ways to lend a hand. Find out how you can help in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hello, I'm Erica Pratt of the Ann Arbor Parks and Recreation Unit. I'm the Volunteer and Outreach Coordinator for Give 365. That's the volunteer program within the Parks and Rec Unit. Did you know there's 159 parks in our park system? That's a huge amount of parkland, and one of the things we do with volunteers is coordinate cleanups and beautification efforts. We oversee Adopt a Park. We are always looking for people to get involved with us. Did you know that April is National Volunteer Month? Sounds like a perfect time to get involved. You can visit our website to see the variety of opportunities that we have. We can customize outings, and we also are recruiting individuals for different events that we've already have planned. Be sure to visit our website to read more about us and check out our events, and hopefully we'll see you around town.
As the grass greens, the flowers begin to bloom and the warm air re-energizes ourselves and nature. Get out of the house and celebrate everything the planet has to offer during Ann Arbor's Earth Day. Joining me is Mackenzie Maxwell, Program Manager for Leslie Science and Nature Center, here to fill us in on all the details on the 2017 celebration. Welcome back to the show, Mackenzie.
Thank you for having me.
So this is the 47th Ann Arbor Earth Day Festival, and it's kind of changed a lot over time. You were telling me a little bit about like the past. Can you kind of fill me in about how it's evolved and where we're at today?
Yeah, and so the original Earth Day was celebrated in 1970, and during that time, Ann Arbor celebrated in more of an educational way and demonstrations and things like that. So there were sessions going on at the university and demonstrations and things like that going on around. It was really interesting looking at some of the people that actually visited and spoke during those times, and then the money that was actually raised during that time actually started the Ecology Center that's in Ann Arbor that's still around. And so over the years, it's hard to say that it's our 47th celebration because it's had been in different hands and those types of things, but Ann Arbor has always had some type of event going on Earth Day. And over the past few years, different environmental education organizations have kind of led the way, and then over the past few years, we've been having the festival at Leslie Science and Nature Center, but still with the help of a lot of different organizations in Ann Arbor. So the Ecology Center, Give 365, Recycle Ann Arbor, NSF International, and all these different organizations kind of come together in the city to make this free event possible. So
I'm not sure about this, but does the Ann Arbor Earth Day Festival coincide with the original Earth Day? Like, when did Ann Arbor have one? And do you know when the original Earth Day was?
So the Earth Day is always on April 22nd, and so it just kind of depends if that's a Sunday for our festival. And so this year it will actually be the Sunday after Earth Day. So Earth Day is the 22nd, and our festival's the 23rd.
Okay, so they're pretty close together.
Yeah,
and what time is it at?
It's from 12 to 4.
Okay, so there's a big chunk, and a lot of the stuff is going on kind of all day. There's some stuff that's scheduled, like you have to be there by a certain time, but if you showed up at like 3 o'clock, you could still enjoy the festival.
Oh yeah, and so kind of the way that we have it set up is that there will be a bunch of different nonprofit and environmental exhibitors sharing a little bit about what they do in Washtenaw County and in Ann Arbor around earth-friendly topics like farms and green living and biking and walking and those types of things. And then we'll have scheduled events like our All Species Parade, which is always a lot of fun. And then we actually have our learning presentations again this year. So at 12:30, Project Grow will be talking a little bit about composting and earthworms and all that fun stuff, and then citizens.
So that's kind of for adults and kids a little bit.
Yeah. And so both of those, we're trying to really encourage family to do it, because if the best way to make change and to do something is if you can do it in like normal and it doesn't seem abstract. And so
start when you're young. So when you're a child and you're composting and doing all that at your home, you're more likely to move out of your parents' home when you're older and continue to do those things.
Yeah, if it becomes like part of your norm, then it is. And so if just the parents know, then they have to tell the kids to do it. And if just the kids know, then your kid's coming home and like, Mom, we need to compost. So it's good to have everyone involved.
And then, so there was 2 activities with the learning.
Yep. And so at 12:30 will be Project Grow, and then at 1:15 Citizens Climate Lobby. We'll be talking about putting a tax on carbon, and I'll be really interested to see, because I was reading that they're going to be doing props and skits around it. So I'm excited to see how they're going to involve the family with that one, because I think that that's definitely, when you read it, you're like, that looks like it's for adults, but I think that it'll be a good
so it's almost like a play or something like that.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm excited to find out about it. I haven't seen it yet, but.
Well, we talked about the All Species Parade. The one thing that's like the cutest thing about the festival, it's so adorable. Do you can bring your own costumes, but you guys kind of have costumes for the kids too? Yeah,
so we encourage people to bring their own, but then we also have instruments and like some feather boas and hats and masks for people to wear, but not like any like full suits that people can pull on. But we have some signs that say like oink and honk and all that good stuff. So.
And you're always a part of the parade, aren't you?
Yeah, I blamed myself a few years ago because it started to pour halfway through the 10-minute parade because I was dressed as a salamander. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was migrating and I brought him out. So I don't know what I'll be this year, but it should be fun.
Well, and then always Joe Riley for the kids. And
Yes.
I mean, that's like a hard rock concert for those kids. They
Oh.
absolutely love him.
It's so much fun. I remember someone that I work with at Leslie worked with him, and they're like, you know Joe Riley, and so it'll be great. Like it'll be great.
I did see him on one of the big channels one day. I think he was on like the local news one day.
Oh yeah,
Performing,
and
yeah.
he's so great with the kids and adults, being able to sing these songs, and you don't realize, but you're learning so much as you're learning these songs about a turkey vulture. They're like, oh man, I never knew that about a turkey vulture before. So it's good.
Well, and the nice thing about doing it, because like you said, it wasn't always at Leslie Science. I think years past it used to be at WCC for a while. But the nice thing about Leslie is that Leslie always like shows up at places with their live animal demos, but you're right there, so you kind of get everything that Leslie has to offer.
Yeah, it's nice using the site just because it's so great for that program space. And so we'll have hikes going on through Black Pond Woods, and then you'll also be able to walk around the raptor enclosures and things like that. So even though there are a lot of other people involved, it's nice to get people to see the other things that we do and see our space in a different way. So yeah, it is nice having it on site.
And then are there some crafts and stuff for the kids to do this year?
So I don't know specifically. I know that a lot of folks typically bring some type of craft or activity as far as the exhibitors go, but I don't know any specific crafts that will be going on.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Bring the kids. I mean, they're going to have a blast anyways. I mean, it ends up being like an educational thing for adults and fun though. I mean, they're having fun too, but the kids, it's seriously a party for them.
Yeah, and so each, just like in past years, we have the passport, and so there'll be some type of craft or activity at each exhibitor. So they'll get a little stamp, and then when they leave, they can take their filled out passport and get a tree to take home and plant for Earth Day. So,
oh, nice.
That'll be nice again this year to have.
So why don't you just tell people why they should come to the 2017 Earth Day celebration and continue to come year after year?
So I think, we do similar things each year, but it's a great way to remind us and to remind ourselves of the different opportunities that are in Ann Arbor and the different organizations that are working. I think that one thing that I love about it is I find new opportunities to volunteer and participate in things that I can do on the weekend or at home to help the earth.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really good opportunity to get outside, to kind of like jump into spring, thinking about some ways that we can support our environment in Ann Arbor and Washtenaw County. So.
All right, fingers crossed for perfect weather that day.
That's my mission. Last year it was 70 and sunny, and I swear it was the best festival.
We deserve it. It's been kind of cold lately, so we need it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mackenzie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Visit a2gov.org/watch CTN for more on this and other CTN programs. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.